Hello, hello. Welcome to my Monday afternoon stream. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry that we're getting started a little late today. And before we get too far ahead, for anyone in the chat, if there is any audio trouble, please let me know. I'm trying out a new headset that I got today, and I'm hoping that I got my microphone and background music set up right, but feel free to drop a message in the chat if you're having trouble hearing me. And what I've been trying to do at the beginning of my streams is giving thanks to all the new followers I've been getting as I've been doing this. So let's slide over to my desktop. Oh, that does not look right. Let's go and fix that. One of these weeks, I'm going to get it so everything's right when we get started. Perfect. All right. So I had a couple of new follows this week between streams. I had my good friend Danny Ackerman followed me, Osmosis, and I'm gonna butcher the last one. Sinisapakavic. I really have no idea how to pronounce your handle, but thank you for the follows, everyone. I really do appreciate people coming in and watching me do a little bit of open source programming. So this week I was thinking we could pick up right where we left off last week, and let me make this a little bigger here. There we go. That way people can see it. So last week we were working on this control that I built called the circle button menu, and thought we could continue on working on that control. And let me show you what we did last week on this. So I scroll down the docs a little bit. We actually, I have the emulator loaded up already. So we built this little app here that tests our control. And last week, what we did is we added different directional support for it. So I can, like select this down left arrow, and when I click it, this control flies out down and to the left, and I can just easily change that so we can plug in any different direction that we want to go in. And after we did the live stream, I actually got an awesome pull request that I wanted to give a shout out to one of the people that was watching. So I requested these error codes during the live stream, and I couldn't figure out the codes, and someone submitted a nice little pull request for that, which was really cool to see that come in later that day. So with any of the stuff that I'm working on open source, you guys can contribute if you feel up to it. But today what I wanted to do is, looking back at the control here, is right now when we click any of these buttons here, it goes out in a particular direction. And what I want to do is I want to be able to click the button and have it form like a circle going around it, and kind of more of a fancier display. So all of our options, instead of going out in a straight line, are going to kind of go out in a circle around it. So we're going to be doing some math today. So why don't we? Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to do. I use PowerShell all the time, and I wanted to install this awesome extension called Poshget. And if you haven't used it, I recommend it. I've used it before, I just haven't installed it. So let me drop that in the chat for anyone that wants it. And I thought we would just install it together before we get started. So scrolling down, it looks like it's as simple as just running the command that they have there. So I'll just type that in and see if it works. We'll install the module. We'll install it for myself. We'll allow pre-release. And we'll force. The cannot be found matches. I guess we're not going to do allow pre-release. Did I spell that right? Yeah. Huh. We'll try it without that. and see what happens. I guess their docs can be updated. Let's go. Is there anything I'm supposed to do with it? Maybe I need to restart PowerShell. That's probably what it is. Well, that's not right. That should be showing us for. So it says start PowerShell, execute one of the following commands. We need to import it now. Let's try importing it. Import module. There we go. That's it. I've never set up a scripts to run my PowerShell when it first loads up, but I really do like Pashka at the times I do use it because it gives me all this nice context right there inside of the terminal here of what we're doing, which I like a lot. So cool. So I'm going to create a branch so we can get started. So do I'm going to call flyout circle. There we go. And now Pashka's going to show us flyout circle right there. So it's a nice little utility. I use it time to time. The WinDev it's got the same error. Yeah, I guess they need to update their docs there. So, anyways, this is not about Pashka. This is about circle button menus. Okay. Cool. So I got the solution loaded up here, and we'll just again do another quick refresher here what we got going on here. So we got this sample project that we're probably going to stay out of for a little bit, but this project is 100% shared code, so you can always take this and use it in your shared code. Nothing here is platform specific, but it's still a plugin that we could use. And the other week we added, if I remember where I put it, we added code in this, where did I put it? I thought it was in this one. Maybe it's an add button. This one, base direction, translate. No, here it is. Yeah, so we added this get translation code here that basically checks the direction that our control is set to move in, and then apply a translation to all the controls that are being used. So if we went to the actual reference of this, we're just applying that translation when the user goes and clicks a tap root button. We'll get that translation data and then apply it to all the buttons, and then it'll send it out for each button that we have in our collection of buttons that we want to display. So to do here is we're trying to have the button in the middle, and when the user clicks on it, it's going to create a circle going around that based on the number of buttons. So this logic is really no longer going to be valid anymore for that particular direction. This logic is really just for linear direction. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add wrong hotkey. I'm going to go to direction. I'm going to create another direction here. We're going to call it circle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the sample code, and we'll do our direction. We're just going to update this circle. And I think I want to add a few more controls here. So let's go to the code behind. Who we got? We got to follow the Wind Dev. Thanks for the follow, buddy. Appreciate it. So let's create a few more controls here, and they're just going to be duplicates. And the way I got this wired up is these are just mapping to images that we have. So when you saw we had like something that looks like waves, something that looks like a sound, something that looks like a save icon. So we're just going to copy this a couple times. I think we're just going to do it once for now, and we'll see how that comes out. And because that'll give us enough controls to go around that little circle control there. There's that. So that should all be good. So now I can come back to our circle button menu, and what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna say if our direction is equal to circle, we do one thing, and if not, we do this traditional logic here. And we might be able to clean this up and have it be all in one loop or code path, but for now this is just going to be easier. Doesn't hurt to have a couple extra if statements here. And then we'll do very similar code. Let's get it working, and then we can refactor it at the end. So for each item, we're going to need to apply a translation to it that's going to be slightly different as we go around our circle. So if we take a look at what we did here, like we went straight down, we already have this distant variable that we're passing in, and we just apply that exactly. But the thing with this is, if we go back to our other, we come back here, we start with the base distance, and that's 80. And then we get this distance variable that goes from the base distance times our index position at base 1. So as we go out further and further and further, we just multiply out the distance so we can have the second button be twice as far as the first button and so forth. And we don't really need that anymore. So we could probably do distance. I like 80 for our distance, so we can start there. And then for each button, what I really want to do is, it's going to do very similar to stuff what's in this translation method here. So let me just take another look at what we did there. I mean, it's really going to do the exact same thing, and we can just plug in the distance. Oh, you know what we could do? We could pass in a direction here, current direction. Update this, and we'll set that equal to direction. Well, let me do that. Nope, it's got to be compile time. So then we'll come back here and we'll update this to pass in direction. That way we can use that same translation logic for our circle button menu. So instead of passing in a distance of, x times 2, x times 3, we can just pass in x, which in our case is distance. And since direction is in numeration, starts at 0, I should be able to use the index as the direction I want to pass in. What I could do is say translation equals get translation distance, and I'll cast it as direction index. And that would get us, for the first one, we look at our direction, it'll go up, and then it'll go down. Ooh, no, I don't like how that is. Let's reorder these. Go right. Let's do upright, right. Down, right. Down. Down, left. Left. Up, left. So that's going to kind of make a circle as it goes around, so that's good. Now that would pass that in, and what I could do now is say buttons index dot translate to translation dot translate x and translation dot translate y. This is kind of going to work, but there's going to be problems with it. Let's see what happens when we run it. And okay, I'm going to ignore our options down here. This should be defaulted to circle. Whoa, that's so cool! Let's watch that again. That is so cool. I've been having a lot of fun working on this control. It's the subtle animations that just come together working with this is just it's really rewarding. I am really happy with how that looks. That is cool. We're gonna create a GIF of that right now. That needs to be posted on Twitter immediately. So I got this cool little GIF tool that I use to record those. I'll hit the go button. That is just so cool. I'm really happy with how that looks. I'll stop. And do file, save as, call this demo circle, save, let that process. We'll post it on Twitter and tell everyone to come join us. We're gonna do some. I'm gonna try and do some other cool things with that as well. So let's go back to Visual Studio real quick. And where was that? This PC. I should just be able to drag and drop that. Say. Making cool menus on Twitch for Xamarin. Now I'll just drag and drop that in. Alright, you guys didn't want to come to watch me go on Twitter, but I just wanted to share that. I'm really happy with how that came out. That's really cool. So let's break this now that I've screwed around enough. So we're going to break this by adding more options or more items inside of our code here. So if I copy all of these, it's most likely going to break or it's going to look really funky. because our code over here doesn't handle our direction when it's not pointing in a certain spot. Because one of our direction options is circle, right? So it's going to get all wonky when it gets down to the end of that enumeration. This enumeration, the last item is circle, so we're going to need to add some code to handle that. Or we might need to create like a different enumeration or something, I'm not sure. I'm expecting problems when I click the go button here. Oh, it didn't break. That's amusing. Of course it didn't break. Well, let's write some defensive code anyways. So we're up here, we said 80. I'm gonna say direction is equal to, so if our index, so let's say we cast our index, that is equal to circle. Now, I'm just thinking through how I want to organize this, because I really want it to be as simple as I specify circle. But if they get circle, I want to go to the next one. So maybe we just need like another counter variable. Maybe we call it like offset. And we'll say our direction is, so maybe what we can do then is say if direction of index is equal to circle, our offset will be incremented by 1. And then I can come down here and do that cast again. I'll say index plus offset. And then we can put in our direction here. Little d for direction. That's a little bit more defensive. And that'll work. Let's go and test that out. If someone puts in more than our circle allows, oh, that's weird. Am I clicking it too fast? Okay, that looks better. Yeah, and at the end of the day, if someone puts in more than 3, 6, 7, 8, so if someone puts in more than 8 items, it's just going to wrap. It's just going to display one on top of the other. But at least there won't be any problems there with conflicting with other direction types. And what we'll have to do as we make different types of circles is have some type of check in there to handle all the other ones that we create. But anyways, so that all looks good. I'm just gonna do a quick commit of our work right now. And we were talking about PoshGet earlier, and we installed the module, and I like this part too, where it kind of tells you your additions, deletions, what's going on. It's kind of a nice quick glance at what's going on. So now we added everything, so it's green. And we're going to say added basic addition of circle direction. Check that. Commit that. Wait for my little security warning here. Type in my password. Done. Alright. So now that we did that, let's refactor some of this code because I don't like it. So we're going to come up here. And we're going to say, oops, I'm debugging. Say our distance is equal to 80. Now I don't need this line. That's gone. Maybe we'll rename it to base distance. Keep it consistent. Oops. Control Z, Control Z. Base distance. Base distance. Perfect. I don't need you. That can go away. That all looks good. Have some white space. I still don't like having loops that are pretty much the same. I'd like to clean this up a little bit. Let's think about how I can clean this up. So maybe what we do is we still keep an offset up here. Set that to 0. I'm going to just rename this to int. And we'll say index, buttons, count. Let me take a look at our sample code. I'm really struggling right now with how I want this API to work. It's like one thing I'm thinking of is like maybe we say, create like a direction type. Let's say it could be circle, it could be line, it could be, whatever. And that dictates this direction enum. So maybe this direction enum would then be able to determine which one it could be, or do I just keep it simple and have direction have different types? So maybe another type would be, so like a diamond pattern that we wanted it to come out instead of just a circle, or maybe we want it to be, a square. Let's leave it like this. Maybe we can think about that. I don't want to get too carried away with API changes for this yet. So that means over here, maybe we just flip this so we can put the if statement inside, and we'll say if our direction equals direction.circle, we do a thing, else, we do something else, we'll do that, and I could say buttons index, translate to translation, which we haven't defined yet, so there's that. Translation is tuple, so I'll have to define that. Translate x, translate y, translation. Perfect. Now I should just be able to cut and paste this line. Paste. So that looks like we're on track. Now I could take this, paste that there, and then we'll take this code here, paste that there. Let's remove that and that. And that, it does the same thing. Tomato, tomato, however you want your code to look, I suppose. But now instead of having two separate for loops, we're doing the same loop. So as we build out different types of, let's say there's a direction equals square, we could write that right in here, and it kind of goes through the same workflow. Perfect. So let's take a look at what we got going on here. We really just got one change there. And let's say cleaned up circle code. Perfect. Perfect. Well, we've been talking about square as an option as well. Let's do that too. I think that one's going to be slightly harder to build, so let's add that as an option. And we're going to start with our direction here. Call it square, and we'll come back to our circle button, menu control, and we can just say else if direction equals square. And this is also going to need to do offset work, so I'm going to say if our direction of index is equal to direction of square, I can update our offset to. But you see, this immediately is going to start causing problems, because it would need to say, now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to update this logic to be or square. And I don't like that, because now we're going to have to add one for every single case that we include. Throw a big ol' to do in it. Clean up redundant logic. We'll take care of that part later. The other thing with this is just thinking through what's going to happen. So let's say we're looking through our collection here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th circle. We update the offset to 1. And we're at 9. And we update the offset to 2 to bring us back there. Oh, you know what? That defensive code that we wrote doesn't actually do anything. Right? Yeah, that's not actually... Updating this offset is really not doing anything. Maybe what we need is, instead of this to be... Maybe we rename it to count. And I can reset it to 0.
Yo, what's going on?
Now, what we're going to do is we're not going to use offsets, we're not going to do any of that stuff. We're just going to continue. And the reason why we're going to continue is looking back over here at our circle button control. Once that loads up here.
What's going on?
So when it gets all the way back to the beginning here, and it's at the direction of circle, we could assume that it's gone through the progression, and if it tries rendering something else, it's going to render on top or bottom of one of these if we just reset that count back to 0. So we might as well just stop. And because at that point, who's ever using the control has put too many controls on this menu, and there's no point. So we'll just stop rendering them, and they'll still be rendered technically underneath this minus sign, but they won't be displayed to the user. So we can just go to continue, and I'm fine with that. Why is it yelling at me for these? It's saying use of possibly unassigned translate X. Oh, because if we get in here, translate X could possibly be unassigned. So let's take care of that. So our direction is going to be the same. So we're going to set that up based on our direction of index. I still have it loaded up just to do. But here's the difference. What I want to happen is, instead of it making this circle, the bottom left bottom right, and top left, they need to be double. So what I'm going to do here is say, we're going to put a distance variable. We're going to say that equals to base distance, but if our direction is equal to, can I do like a, I wonder if I could do like an enum contains. So let's say we said corners is equal to direction dot up left, direction dot up right, direction dot down right, and direction dot down left. And then what I can say is if corners dot contains the direction that we're going in. Right, yep. This all makes sense to me. So our corner contains, if our direction is a corner, then let's set our distance to double. Then we can plug that in there. Let's see what that does. A double might be too far. We might want to do like time and a half. But let's see what happens when this runs. Oh no, we got errors. Errors? What did I forget? I forgot to do something. Clearly. Just saying translation may be undefined. Oh, oops, because I put it in the wrong... This code belongs down here. Actually. This code belongs here. And what we need to do is clean that up. This is just base distance. That's why I threw an error, because I was in the wrong context. Oops. Alright, let's take a look. And what happens this time? Whoa! That's wild. That's not what I wanted at all. So let's try time and a half. I mean, it's still a cool effect. And maybe that's something we should build into this, is a way to customize a direction. Oh, that's not gonna work because distance is int. So I hate math. I really don't, but we're gonna have to do like distance times time and a half, like that. That's gonna be converted to a double, and then I'm just gonna cast it back to an int and drop the decimal. And I hope that works the way I want it to work. We'll find out. Yeah, I mean, it should work. Why wouldn't it work? And look at that. Now we got a square. That's cool. That is so cool. Square. I like it. Sweet. Oops, I don't want to hit the restart. I just want to stop. Build. Cancel. Cancel. Perfect. Alright. That was pretty cool, though. So I'm going to say added square direction. Oops. Need to add stuff before I hit the commit button. Alright. Alright. So now that is done, maybe we need to add some updates to our main page. So let's have it start off as a circle, and then we have all these buttons here. Let's load the app up. I want to figure out where I want to put these. Let's figure out where I want to put these buttons. Like we could put like a circle button down here in the middle, or maybe two separate buttons to do like circle and square. Yes, I should just be able to go. If I put two buttons in there, I have no idea what that's going to look like. Let's see for now. Make it large. Call it S for square. I'm afraid it's going to push the other buttons away. We'll find out. And yeah, no, that's not what I want. That is not what I want. So I'm going to throw this all into stack layout. We'll do our square. Throw in our circle. And let's say our horizontal options are just going to be the center. And hopefully that won't expand it out past the confines of where I want it to be. The hardest thing in Xamarin is building a layout. Everything else is just writing code. And let's see how that looks. Nope. That's not what I want at all. I mean, I guess I could just make this guy. Make that like a fill and expand. That'd be an easy out for this. Let's see what that does. Close. I want to go all the way over. And if I do like end there. Every week, I find somehow for me to struggle writing XAML in front of people. I mean, this is how it always is when I'm writing XAML systems. Let me try this. Does that work? No? Okay. Let's try this. Does that work? No? Repeat. but we got it right. Okay, that's better. I can live with that. I mean, the interface is kind of confusing in general, but at least it's got all of our options there. But yeah, let's do that. We don't need the stack layout anymore. That's gone. Bring you up. Gone, gone. Down here, we'll say fill and expand. This guy right here, the end. We'll give it a good old restart. And I think that'll have everything the way we want it, and then we can fire some change directions. Yeah. Now, that looks good. What we'll do is create a command, we'll bind it to our change direction. For those of you that weren't here last week, we created this command here called change direction on our binding context and our code behind. We're just doing real simple mdvm to the sample code, and we created this on change direction function that passes in the direction and it just updates the menu direction on the fly for us. Pretty straightforward there. And I learned last week how we can pass in a static type as our parameter. So we just command parameter, these static, and it is access controls direction dot, what are we calling this one? Circle. There's that. And we're going to do the same thing here for square. Say command binding change direction. Command parameter. Static controls direction square. So we'll restart that. And now if I click circle, goes to circle. If I go straight line up, kind of draws it off the screen. We got a lot of controls we're trying to work with all at once. Go to hit square now. That's pretty nifty. Yeah. So I'm just gonna adjust. I'm gonna have this actually say circle. Make our text a little bit smaller. If anyone's interested, I would absolutely love another pull request about, instead of saying circle, but maybe having the shape for a circle and square. Sure, we can look up a key code for that. Maybe we'll look that up real quick. We'll see if I can figure it out. And then, is it going? There we go. Yeah, let's go see if we can find a key code for that. So I'm actually just gonna copy that, throw it into a browser. Shell simple character codes, arrows. So if we look up that as a left arrow, do we have like a square or circle? Square? That's almost a square. Maybe you need to type in box. Let's try that. Box, that's what I need. Well, let's take this code right here. semicolon. Now let's look up circle. Hmm. Those are not anything what I want. I mean, this one's kind of right, but it's small. I don't want it to be that small. I don't know. Can I search for more of these types? Ah, here we go. Uh, Symbols, maybe? Don't care about that. Hmm. I mean, I suppose I could just use like an emoji or something. Egg circle. Hmm. Let's do another search here for like circle to make it a little bigger. So close with some of these. Where? Do smiley face, but that's not a circle. I'm gonna need to go back to that tiny circle. Those are all circles with numbers. So, circle with an arrow. Yeah, we just might need to come back up here to that tiny circle I saw. Maybe we'll just make the font super large on it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Totally passed it. There it is. So we'll just take that key code there, plug that in for a circle. Now let's make this font large. That's medium. And we'll reload. Let's see how that looks. I'm sure it'll look fine for. I mean, this is a sample app. We don't need to get carried away with the sample app. That looks fine. I hit circle. It does circle stuff. I hit square. It does square stuff. Perfect. Ship it. Say update sample app to include circle and square buttons. Perfect. So now that we have that working, I want to go back and I want to play with some of our animation effects a little bit. So right now, all this is doing is it's grabbing your X and Y translation for each item, right? And I was thinking that it might be cool to, instead of having them all kind of like expand together, so like we open up the app again. Is we lose the video? Let me see what's going on with the stream there. Uh-oh. Looks like we have some video problems there. Let me fix that. Huh. Alright, let me just reboot one of my stream tools. I will be right back. All right, well, I hope people can hear me again. For some reason, my screen share stopped working, and we weren't able to do anything with it, and everything kind of froze there. So I need to reboot my Surface, and once it's rebooted, I should be able to start the screen share back up again, and we'll be able to finish up what we were working on. And if you, I have a blog article about how my whole setup works, but I do all of my streaming through my Mac over here, and then I use my Windows machine to do the actual coding, and that way it doesn't get bogged down by trying to run the stream. So I think we're going to be good to go in just a second. Just starting up my stream software. Wow, that was a pretty bad crash that I had there. And I am sorry about that. It's more embarrassing than anything to have something like this happen live on the air. Hate it. These things happen though. They happen. Alright. Alright. Can everyone hear me that's watching? Do I got my audio? It looks like I got my audio back. The music's back. Well, no news is good news. If you can't hear me, let me know, and I'll fix it. But I think it's working. So let's get back to where we left off. I really have no idea how much of the video we lost there, but anyways. Let's load the solution back up. Everything seems to be working, so that's promising. Alright, so let's launch our emulator here and show off what we were doing. that's the old one. Okay, gotta wait for it to deploy. Alright, so I hit square, makes a square, perfect, hit circle, makes a circle, done. Alright. We can do it all records. So, yeah, what I wanted to play with was kind of having our control act like a snake almost. So right now it just kind of expands and shrinks all from that one center button. What I want to do is when I hit the plus button, it comes up, and then what's going to be a good way to describe this? I should be able to do my screen sketch. So what I want it to do is I want it to come up and then go around like that. And that way, and that's just a different effect that I've seen. Some apps use. So, and maybe the user can specify direction, so it comes down and then goes around and makes a circle. So it's still going to have the same ending position, but we're going to have to iterate through each button in our control as we navigate that circle. And that's going to cause quite a change up here. So earlier we kind of refactored everything into our for loop. Well, maybe not. Maybe what we do is I create another property here. So we have this direction property. And let's create something called a flow. So I'm going to create another enum here. And let's call it flow. And we're going to have a standard flow. Actually, let's call it, no. Maybe we'll call it expand. Come on. We can think about that name a little bit. Expand makes sense. I mean, right now, it expands out, and it compresses back in on itself. If I do the linear style, it's still an expand, so I guess it doesn't really matter for that. And let's create one and call it snake. I like snake for that, and that's going to do that. That snake, it's kind of like playing the game Snake. If you ever played that, where there's a leader die and you got to follow it around and such. So I think that makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to other people. It definitely makes sense to me. You can always update the name before I release the next version. And so we're gonna create a flow variable here. Just create your standard bindable property. Have return flow. Say get value. Flow property. And we'll say set value. Flow property. Value. That looks good. And I'll create a bindable property too now. Public static read only. Bindable property. Flow property equals bindable property create. And it's going to say name of flow. That's the name of our bindable property. It's going to be of type flow. And it's going to be inside of our circle button menu. And the default value is going to be flow dot expand. And that's it. Perfect. So now what I can do is I can come down here. I don't know where here is, but I can go to the thing where we do the stuff here. Now I can say if flow is equal to expand, we can do this logic. else if flow is equal to snake, we'll do something different. The question is, how do I want it to work? This logic right here can be pulled out to that top level. Either way, when we're done, we're done. So now, what we could do is, instead of iterating through each one to apply that translation, let's say the direction will be, it'll still be very similar. So we'll have a direction based on the index. That's really only on the first one. So let's just hard code that to direction up for now. And we do the translation equals get translation. And we'll say base distance on our direction. So that's going to move, oops, little d for direction, case sensitive. So what that's going to do is that's going to put everything just one spot up. Oh, path of possible use of unassigned. Oh. Oh, it's yelling at us for this code right here, because if it's expand or if it's snake. But what I could do is I could say if it's snake, do this. Expand is our default, so this, oops, clean that up. Clean. Shift tab. Alright. Clean. That should work. So that's going to put all of our controls in that position up. But once they get there, I want to start sliding them out and around. So, oh, we never decided our flow. All right, let's come back over here. We got direction of circle. We're going to say our flow is equal to snake. Right. So that's going to, okay, yes, exactly. And just move them all up there. And once it gets there, we can start moving each item to that final position, right? So on index 2, or sorry, index of 1, which would be the second item in our collection, we could then say, maybe what we do is we say if index is equal to 0, so on the first one, I'm going to create a direction variable. So if it is greater than 0, what I try doing is we need to figure out how we're going to get from that top position to the next location. Since we move all of them, I think I might be able to cheat a little bit here and say direction equals to direction index. So that's going to be at 1. Looking back at our direction enumeration, it'll be upright all the way down to circle. And we said if it is circle or square, we're done. Let's see what this does. Animation coding is so much fun. It's kind of, you really got to think about where your items are moving and the state that everything's in, and it's fun. It's definitely difficult. So now, no, I don't think it took flow at all. Oh, you know what it did? Let's see if we can drop a breakpoint in here and slow down our animation. Maybe it's happening too fast, or maybe what's happening is once it gets to the first one, it does. So we're at step 1 here, so we can hit F5. Maybe the animation that's getting drawn is happening after we process the translate to on all of these buttons. So maybe what I need to do is say if flow is snake, flow, maybe I need to do like some type of animation delay or thread delay. What if we did, I don't like the idea of putting in a little delay here, but maybe we do like a half-second pause. Let's see what that does. And looking at that logic up there, it looks like it should, at least very quickly, form a circle around it, but well, that wasn't a delay at all. Let's see, so our flow is snake. Yeah, that looks right. Yeah, I think I need to do not thread. Let's throw an async on this. Oh. Maybe we do need to run a wait on that. Let's comment that out for a second. All these translations are awaitable, or animations are awaitable, so maybe we need to await it as we go through this, and that way it pauses at that point. We might not be able to solve this today, which is okay. Whoa! Did you guys see that? That was kind of cool. That's so cool. Oh my. So if you want your animations to look like that, await it. But I don't want all my animations to look like that, so let me just make sure that still works the other way. Okay. But For now, I am going to throw that await back on, because I think that's going to help us with our problem up here. So the first one goes up. Oh, you know what the problem is? So the first one goes up, but none of the other ones go up. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to wrap this logic down here, and we're going to say if flow is not equal to snake, we can do that. We can do that. Oops, put the wrong hotkey there. And I want that. Oh, this is not a weighted execution. Yeah, that makes sense. But in here, what I can say now is I could say all of our buttons. Can I do like a 4 each? Oh, I totally can. We're doing it. We're going to say translate to translation dot translate x, translate y. So that's going to move everything. And we are missing a paren at the end there. Paren. Save. Well, let me do that. Desync. Now it's going to be a void. Oh, let's see. There's a couple different things that could happen here. Let's see what actually happens. And wow. This kind of looks like it pops out left. That's not what I envisioned at all happening. I had like 3 different things I thought was going to happen. That was not one of them. Because for each button, I want to say translate to. If you're saying translate to X and Y. And what I would think would happen is I would translate all of them up. Alright. Maybe it's just moving them very quickly and it's hard to see what the naked eye. Let's get our current buttons. Let's try that. So we'll say current buttons. And we're going to say buttons that. Can I go like a. What I can do is I can say skip our index plus 1. And what that's going to do is it's going to get us the rest of the remaining buttons, and then we could apply the translation to each one of those. So that's going to be an enumerable. What is the actual button? That's a list. Maybe say to list. Let's see what happens here. No. I wonder if I could throw in like that task delay to slow down what's going on. So we can, let's make that 5. We don't need that. We don't need to be a full second. Maybe this will give us a little bit more of an idea of what's going on. So that's really cool. And it doesn't work at all. But here's why that is really cool. I'm gonna make this go even slower, so everyone can see what's going on here. It's really cool because it is moving each item to the correct spot that it thinks it needs to be in. While it's not putting it in the correct spot on the screen that we actually want, it's taking all the items, moves it over here, and then it takes the remaining items, moves it here, and then the remaining items, and there, and there, and there. So watch that animation again. So all the items get moved there, and the rest move there, and the rest move back to the middle, and so forth. So we're actually very, very close to getting this right. And when this actually draws, what's going to happen is it's going to take all the items and stick them there, and then here, and then there, and it's going to just like slowly go around. So it's going to do pretty much what we want it to do as it builds this control. So I think we're actually really close to getting this right. Oh no, I see what I did wrong. Did I do it down here wrong? No, I didn't do it down there. Oh, I see it. I hate it when I make these mistakes. This is not supposed to be translation Y. It's supposed to be translation dot translation Y. So angry at myself when I make those mistakes. So let's see if this does that snake effect. I'll be really happy if it does that full snake effect. Is everyone ready? Yeah? Whoa! Look at that go! That is so cool. So what happens then if I don't think it's going to do what we want it to do if I just comment this out. It's just going to move too fast. It's basically going to move as fast as we can fire those commands. And you know what? Maybe that will be right. Maybe it'll be moving fast enough where it'll be processing fast enough where it'll look really smooth as it goes around. Now, see, that's kind of what I was afraid of. By the time because we're not able to run any type of weight on each one of these, maybe what we need to do is actually run a weight on each translation. So I try to get fancy with these for loops, but maybe we just need to do current buttons. I'll say current translate to translation translation X translation Y, and we just await that whole thing there. Let's see how that works. That way it needs to finish the animation before the next one can begin. Let's see what this one looks like. That's kind of cool, but that's not what I want either. Whoa! What is it doing? Oh, that's so silly. It needed to complete all the animation, and then it was kept resetting them. That's too funny. So that's not what we want either. No. Oh, my mic is echoey. Let me see if I can fix that for you. Let's see. Is that better? Is that better with the echoing? It looks like I left on my other. Yep, I'm really sorry about that. We ran into some. I'm not sure if you were here, but we ran into video issues where my screen share stopped and I didn't realize it. And so I have two laptops here, and one of my laptops is my stream laptop, and the other is my programming laptop. And I turned the mic on my stream laptop, and I forgot to turn it off. So sorry about that. But okay, back in business now. Now we're looking at silly animations. It's just so funny. It's not what we want at all. Yeah, it's so just for anyone that's new joining in, we're trying to kind of build like almost like a snake effect that we're doing here for as the circle moves out. So kind of like drawing a path, but I want it to be a little bit smoother than what's going on with that. And it's anyways, let's. It's so silly. We're gonna get carried away with this. So applying this away is not really what I want. So if we come back here and we do that task delay for, let's say we do it for a quarter second. Let's, I think this will be better, but I think that exposed a bigger problem. Like, so that looks good, right? Smooth. And it's kind of like a little parent control and just drops off the children as it goes around the circle. I think we can make that a little bit faster though. Like, let's make it like 50 milliseconds. Because ideally when someone clicks this button, all the things should be there almost instantly. Oof. So now it's just too fast. I think we're gonna go back to like maybe 100. So an animation curve, some acceleration. So right now we're just playing with the translation APIs. So we don't have. I don't know if we have access to do anything like that. Let's see. Oh, we got a couple of APIs I did not realize were there. Maybe. Maybe we do that next week. Because we are quickly running out of time today. No, it's fine. I like it. I like it when people are chatting about different things to do. This is the second week we've been working on this control, and we're just having fun doing animations. I think I might put that on the backlog of things we could do. Another one of cleaning up some of those animations. So at the end of the day, this kind of works, and I'm not super thrilled with how some of the code came out, but if it works, right? And I always think the code I wrote yesterday was not good. This will already be yesterday code. Yeah, I don't like that, and I'm not sure if you guys see it, but when it starts coming down the bottom of the curve, it's going straight to the point. Yeah. Whoa, what did I do? I broke it. Oh, that's funny. I'm having fun now. Okay, not fun. Um, yeah, it's. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Where it starts performing like maybe I need to pick the speed up here. Yeah, so the speed is a quarter second, so maybe I need to drop that down to like 100. That way it matches our delay that we're doing. Let's take a look. Well, that is very fast, and that looks much better. But I think that's too fast. Hmm. Like it's very jagged when it gets to each one there. Is it it's Book or is it it's Boic? Either way, thanks for the follow. I really appreciate you joining us. I know you came in a little late, but happy to have you here. Happy for the feedback in the chat. It's Beck. Okay. I'm going to remember that. It's Beck. All right. And welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming. And yeah, I don't know about the speed. I think that's too fast for me. I'm gonna make that be like 150. And doing any type of app animations is always you got to find that balance between making it go too fast, too slow, making the accessibility of the control so it's not just a user waiting. Because if you have an animation that takes 10 seconds and the user's just waiting for it to be completed, that's not doing anyone any good. No, I still don't like that. I'm just gonna keep going back and forth here until I figure out which one I like. When all said and done here, that takes about a second, right? Maybe what I want to do is adjust this time to be like 125. So that should keep it still under about a second. I'm doing the math right. Yeah, that should be make it just a second exactly if we up that delay to 125. Yeah, we'll need to work on this one a little bit more and the effects we can do with it. And I think that's I mean that looks pretty good so far. But I'm curious now if we change this, put the await here, and we comment this guy out. I don't need to have that task delay in there. That'd be pretty good. Oh, that's right, because it did all of those things. Still looks cool, but yeah, we're not doing that. Alright. Well, leave that there. We do have some work that we want to clean up on this. Let's see. Don't want to update anything else there. No. All right. Let me just make sure one last time that the code works. Perfect. And collapse. And I'll add the stuff in, and we'll say added flow setting and implemented circle snake. Calling it. And then I'm going to come over to our sample code here. And what are my options? We'll just put that to the default. We'll say sample app defaults to expand logic. Perfect. And I should update some of the README here.
Well, let's go and do that.
For README, and we'll put this under preview as well. So let's say flow gets or sets the flow of the controls. X snake. Default value is going to be expand, and we'll say that's preview. And I'm just going to throw in here flow equals expand. Even though that's the default value, people can see how that works. People throw in another demo here. We'll say demo. What did I call it? Demo circle. And I'll say demo circle.gif. We'll just update README to include flow. And we'll check out master. Okay. And we'll merge our flyout circle. And let me make sure I'm on the right. Okay. And I'll push that up. Perfect. And so everything should be here now in the master branch. Perfect. All right. Cool. So that works. Oh no. We got tabs instead of spaces mixed up here. Let's fix that. Fixing tabs. Sample code spacing. Push that up. Perfect. All right. And we got that added in. That's in preview. That's in preview. Yeah. I think we'll once we get a few more of the things done that we're working with, I'm going to release a 2.0 build of this that's got some of the new features that we've been working on here. But the code's here. And if anyone is interested in adding some effects to this, feel free to log an issue or submit a pull request or something you're thinking of putting in. Pretty flexible with that. But this is all I'm doing today. For those of you that joined late, I'm just going to drop in the chat for you a link to the repository. And Xamarin Christmas today on Twitch. I'm guessing there's other Xamarin Twitch streamers going at it right now. That's good to hear. But yeah, thanks everyone for coming out to my stream today. And sorry we got started a little late and had a little bit of technical problems, but thanks for coming out and checking out our circle button menu. And I'll see everyone next Monday at 4 p.m. And I think we're going to do some more circle button menu stuff next Monday. Until next time, I'll see everyone on Twitter or whatever social media you use to get a hold of me. See ya.